If you're a person who stutters, or a parent of a child who stutters, the first thing that you have to think of when you are considering a therapy program is, what are the goals of therapy? It's really, really important that you clarify that before the therapy program begins. I'm Barbra Dahm. I'm the unconventional clinician when it comes to stuttering therapy. And I want to talk to you today about goals, because people have an idea that different goals suit different people. And some of the goals that I've heard people say might be really beneficial in stuttering therapy are: one, acceptance. Accept that you stutter and that you will always stutter, and learn how to live with it in a really good way. Another goal is to reduce the struggle when you're stuttering. Maybe stutter a little bit less, or have less secondary symptoms when you're speaking. Some people go to therapy and they're taught strategies for controlling the speech, controlling the stutter. And this is something that is really, really common. Sometimes people go to therapy just to become less fearful of stuttering and to emotionally feel differently about themselves and their stuttering. And some people just go to therapy to get rid of their stuttering. That is their goal. They want to get rid of the stutter itself. So, I believe that all of these goals cause frustration. They're not only not beneficial, but they make you feel really bad when you don't achieve the goal. And these are goals that are really hard to achieve, because really, what do you want in your heart? You want to be able to say what you want to say without having to put effort into doing it. And that's what speaking is all about. So, what I want to say today is that there is a way to do this, and there is a way to make change. But why do these other goals prevent you from making that change? Well, first of all, if your goal is to accept that you stutter, what you are really doing is making stuttering your identity instead of just something you do. It's like saying, this is who I am, this is what I am, I will do it for the rest of my life, and there's nothing that's going to change it. I don't think that's healthy in most everything that we do in life. I'm really a big believer in that our identity is not cut in stone. It changes as we get older, as we grow. At one time I didn't have an identity as a mother. At one time I didn't have an identity as a wife. At one time I didn't have an identity as a mother of grown children or as a clinician. But these identities were flexible and they change as time goes on. So we don't hold to only one thing. There are many things that I do not too well, like singing, for instance, but that's not my identity. I don't think of myself as, oh, I'm Barbra, the incapable singer. I would like to be able to sing better, that's true, but it's nothing that I say, wow, if I could find a way to sing a little better, no, I won't do it, because that's who I am. I'm Barbra, the one who can't sing. So, identity is something that I think should be flexible. And I don't think that sticking it into your mind that no matter what, I can't change this is a good thing. Now, the idea of teaching speech controls. Well, stuttering is when the brain is doing something to interfere with the flow of speech. So speech controls really interfere more. They will never give you the ability to speak freely because speech controls isn't something that's part of natural speaking. I'm not controlling my speech. I'm not controlling my words. I'm not controlling what I am. I'm controlling my thoughts, yes, about what content I'm going to express to you. But natural speaking, there is no control over the movements of the mouth. We don't control all of the different aspects of speaking that go into play when we're speaking. So if you're going to learn speech controls, you might be finding ways to stutter less, but it's not going to help you to feel that you can say anything you want to say without control. So the idea of stuttering in a different way, I feel, is frustrating because it doesn't give you what you really want. Now, getting rid of your stuttering completely, well, you're looking at the speech. It's like saying, I'm going to do just what I always do. My brain is going to work just the way it's always functioned, but I'm going to have a different result. Well, that's really frustrating because you know that that doesn't even make any sense. So, I think that the goal of therapy should be related to what stuttering is. When the brain is doing something, working in a way that interferes with the normal flow of speaking. And in my mind, that should be the goal of therapy. Now, is there only one way to get there? No, there isn't only one way to get there. But that doesn't mean that the goal shouldn't be the same goal. There are people who have learned speech controls who have inadvertently found a way to produce speech so that their brain is no longer interfering. But it's going around the back door, kind of. It's not directly going for that flow. Speech controls, acceptance, all of these things can be very detrimental. Acceptance can be good though, if you accept the fact that, okay, my brain isn't functioning in the natural way, and that's okay, but there are changes that I can make there that will make speaking easier for myself. So, think about it very carefully before you go into a therapy program. Make sure that what you are going for, if that's what you want, is to speak freely and say everything you want to say with ease and comfort, then think carefully before you go into a program that's going to teach you controls and different strategies that are going to make it very hard for you to speak. I thank you for listening. And if you like this video and you think these ideas are helpful to you, please give a like and be sure to subscribe. Thanks a lot.